looking at the reflection there right here. No, we're not gonna go forward. I think the sound should be fine. It's connected. I don't see the display for my sound.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. I am so excited to finally break this curse and sit here and talk to you guys about all the things that happened after our trip in Halifax.
And this is the probably the second time that we actually sitting down and recording this. Last time was in our apartment in Toronto, and this time we are in the middle of Vancouver Island.
Jungle,
forest.
Technically, I want to tell you guys what happened after Halifax. It's been a while.
Oh yes.
And a lot happened. Maybe we should sit and just explain.
Yeah, and the reason we are recording this video is there were lots of footage that didn't actually turn out to be a vlog. So we're gonna basically talk about those, tell you what happened right after we came back from Halifax, and go from there.
Yeah. So what happened after Halifax? So after Halifax, we returned back to Toronto. She doesn't like these phones. She just followed me. This is like a deja vu, where we're back to our storage. We're just emptying out the, well, to be washroom. Lily, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Ooh, you choose your mama over your papa. She wanna go to see where is your papa. As you all know, we gave up our apartment and everything, so we went back to the storage. And because of the trip we had in Halifax, we realized we need some upgrades. So we're going to talk about all the items that we added and built into our van to make it ready for the even longer trip that we were planning to do. But in that period of time, we both were working our full-time job, living in the van full-time, and also doing some upgrade.
Turned out to be a van build 2.0. There was so much to do.
Oh, hello,
and we got an intruder, which you might know from before. But anyway, it turned out to be a lot more than what we expected. So it took us a long time, but we added a bunch of other things to our plumbing system, and basically rebuilt the van in a way. Kind of.
Lily, come on up here. Come, Papa.
Over here.
Good girl.
Good girl. A little more, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, come here. Do you want to come up?
We thought maybe we should bring the whole family now that we are here.
The star of the family.
But this is Lily. You guys might know her. She's the star of the family.
She has been and she will be. Yes.
Alright, so we're not going to get distracted. So what happened after Halifax? So when we got to Toronto, we actually had a couple incidents where we all say Vanlife happened or a Vanlife disaster happened.
Yes.
One of them is related to our...
Well, let's start with the first one, because when we came back, it was raining crazy. It was a rainy season. Okay. When was that exactly? October? End of October?
Around October.
Yeah, anyway. So, I don't know if you guys, I think if you watch our previous videos, we had a problem with the windshield and there was a leak. So when it rained, water would pour down to our cabin in the front. So what we did is we treated the rust, got the new windshield, and we thought it's fixed. But when we got back from our trip, same thing happened again. So, and this time the difference was we were actually living in a van. So it could not, we had to fix it.
And it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I think I was working like 5 days in a row, so that was my first day off after a long time, and I was exhausted, like dying. And then we woke up, and then literally it was a shower in front of our van.
Yeah.
It was not a
Yeah,
good
it was
situation.
pouring down, and the leak was actually getting worse. We noticed that the windshield itself, it was like kind of shaky, so we could feel that the gap is back. So right away we actually went to the shop, and they treated the rust. I mean, they had to take out the windshield because it was no good, and you know the chance that they crack is pretty high. So we got a new windshield. They treated it, and so far since October we haven't had any issues.
And shout out to all those
wood.
people who were working on our van, because
Yeah.
me and Lily were sitting in their office and they just did that in literally 2 hours or
Yeah,
something.
we just told them that we live in this, and
This
you
is
know,
our home.
this is and they were really nice, and
Yeah.
we'll put their information if you.
Yeah, if
If
you're
you-
in Toronto
yeah.
and if you had the windshield situation, you can reach out to them.
Yeah.
They're amazing people.
It was really
And
great.
it's mostly for the glass. It's not for the whole thing. It's just the
Yeah.
glass.
The material they use, basically, the primer. They said they worked on it, they researched on it, and it's actually pretty good. Even though the rust may come
Because
back.
before that,
pretty good.
like when we were coming back from Halifax, we realized like there's some wind coming through the
Yeah.
windshield, and you could push the windshield, and it was like moving.
Pretty
It was
scary
so
stuff.
sketchy and crazy.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. The second
Oh.
one, which was even more crazy, was our inverter.
No.
Oopsie.
You have 3 try. You can try more.
Inverter.
No. You said already. Next.
Uh,
You got 3 chances. This video could take 2 hours.
generator.
Oh, getting close.
Inverter.
We don't have a generator.
I know,
The-
but it sounds like that.
Yeah, a little bit of it. Last try.
I don't know.
Alternate. So we were in our self-storage, as you may know. We got that for basically building our van. We had it, so we kept it because we were doing a bunch of more stuff. It was late nights. We went to
Yeah, you came
get
to
pizza.
pick me up, and then we were like, well, no, let's go get a pizza and then come back. So we went to the pizza place,
Mm-hmm.
and gladly we went to their parking lot because it was right at the street. And then so we went to the parking lot, turned off, went pick up the pizza, came back. The van didn't
We
start.
couldn't turn on. So the first, as many people basically expect, the first thing would be battery. So okay, we ran out of battery for some reason. Our friend at that time, James, which you probably saw in some of our videos, fellow van build buddy, I would say, at the storage, came. He was pretty close by, and we gave it a boost and started the engine. So we started driving right after. Luckily, it was like midnight,
Maybe
and we
within
got at
3
the
minutes
intersection at the red light. I stopped, and then all of a sudden,
Boom. Went off.
the whole engine just got shut off, and everything just got shut off, and just we got stuck right there. Luckily, again, it was midnight. At this time, we realized that this is not a battery. The problem is charging the battery, so alternator was faulty. This is all good. This is no problem. This is
Yeah.
like fine. But the problem was the day after, because I got to fix it really quick, because again, we're living in it. The shop that I had to go to fix the problem is basically where we got the van from. The problem was it was like probably 20-30 kilometers away, and I had to take the famous 401 highway with this situation because I knew that it's not going to keep the charge. So I wish I filmed that thing, but that was the most stressful drive of my life. What I ended up doing was to hook up my starter battery basically to my house batteries, and they were connected to solar. The voltage was pretty low, even below 12, but I managed to drive there. So there was like a long cable all the way. At that time I didn't have this set up to be able to just hook it up somewhere, so I had to just connect it all the way here to the cabin. And every minute of that drive, my engine could have just shut off completely. The solar system helped. I got there, and so the alternator, as we expected, was faulty, and then we got the new alternator. That was one of a crazy
super stressful day.
Yeah, the drive was really bad, and I was by myself at that time. I didn't want to have. I mean, you were working, and where was Lily?
Staying with my friend.
Yeah, staying.
Thanks to my friend.
We survived.
So now we're gonna get into all the items that we added to our van, but we're not gonna go into the details because we're gonna have a van tour, so you're gonna see all of that. So the back door that we have, as you can see, we don't have a sliding door.
Yeah, this is exactly the spot that we should have.
Sliding door. So we don't have a sliding door, so we have only the back door, and we did not insulate that. So we were getting into the winter time in Canada, so we insulate that, and then we added water heater.
The plumbing wasn't complete to for us to add water heater. Initially, we were hoping to get an electric one, but we don't have that good of a system to support that, so we needed to add propane. But I had to run hot water and water actually to the shower, so we needed to add the hot water and finish the shower, which was not done. It was waterproofed kind of, but not complete. And that was a big task, because imagine you already have the kitchen and you just gotta do the plumbing all over again.
Van build 2.0
the plumbing was just a basic one. We tested out, and then so we had some leaks, and apparently there was some area that was moldy. It could get worse, but what I didn't risk it at all. I just cut out the whole plywood underneath and replaced it and waterproofed it. But another thing, after the hot water, which is so amazing, I mean, we will give you the details later on, but our hot water is connected to our sink and the shower, so we can use it at the same time, and it's propane on demand. We'll go to the details later. The last thing we had to do and finish up was the shower, because we only had basically some part of the waterproofing done, and in order to finish it up, it was hard because with the smell and the chemicals and everything we had to use, we had to make sure that Lily is not in the van, because that's where we live.
And these are all took even longer than we expected it. So Lily was staying with my brother for almost a month. I think the whole month of January, Lily was with my brother, and we did a lot of other little things. Like we pretty much did the whole floor again, because we just literally put the floor, but this time we sealed it, waterproof it. There were a lot of little things that we just had to add it to make it more functional. So we also it was 2 months of work
and we did
holding the van again.
Exactly. And also we didn't have the electrical system complete. We bought the inverter. I mean, we had a
we
mini
bought a lot of
shitty
other
inverter
stuff,
and also an extra battery.
So long story short, we made our van complete for our longest trip, which happened right at February. I got few weeks off. So I got about 6 weeks that I, with my vacation and everything, we got 6 weeks off, and we took obviously the US road and to come to Vancouver. And at that point, we really wanted to make sure we don't need our storage unit, we don't need any of the big tools or anything like that. So that's why we took the time to completely finish it, which I'm really glad we did that. It was so necessary.
And the last task for us was to downsize even more with our storage unit, because the storage unit was a relatively medium size. I think it was 10 by 20. I don't want to guess, but whatever. We did not need that space anymore, because we're not doing any build. So we got a much smaller unit, got rid of a lot of stuff, again, junk mostly, and moved to a smaller unit, which we still have right now. And I brought some of my tools, minimal, nothing crazy, but mostly the electrical stuff with me. So even that part, the moving part, was kind of demanding, let's put it that way.
I think that's all about it for the
Yeah.
for the time we had in Toronto. We worked crazy amount of time. He was working full time again. You know, crazy time, and that's why we didn't really vlog, because it was freaking hectic. It was not a happy time. It was just a go 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 go.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was just crazy. On February 14th, on Valentine's Day, at like 10 o'clock, we started driving to Niagara Falls, and we took the Buffalo border, and it was the easiest border crossing of our time.
Yeah.
It was quick. It was like
Not even 10 minutes. We didn't get off the van, and it was just amazing. And Lily obviously helped with her cuteness. I mean, she started barking at the officer, but
I was like, "You're so funny."
yeah.
That was the first time we were border crossing with our van, and it was flawless. It was
we've been lucky with
easy.
that. No,
It was very
that
good.
was great. So we got into Buffalo. It was almost like 11 midnight. We decided to drive a little further. We were upstate New York. We found this place. I think it was some sort of regional park and whatnot. It was by the beach. It's minus 25. It was pretty cold, but we stopped there. We slept, and that was our first night out of country. Yeah.
It was still snow, so it was very cold. So
Yeah.
we pretty much put our destination from Toronto to Nashville, because I have my uncle there. From there, we just kept driving. We were skipping the snow.
Yeah.
But we had a little stop in
Kentucky. Louisville, yeah. The reason is my mom, when she was younger, probably like when she was teenager, like 14, 15, she lived there for several years, and I wanted to go back to the old neighborhood, take some photos, take videos, which we did.
And we were kind of revisiting our family's memories in the United States, because my dad also grew up in the States, so he gave us a lot of places. He traveled pretty much everywhere in the state. We were kind of revisiting and trying to kind of remember their time and how things were, so it was kind of cool to go and see her mom's place and where she was staying, and she knew the address. So
yeah, surprisingly, after 40 years, she knew the address, so we just put it in the Google map, and then we went there for a short visit, got some shots, and sent it to her, which was nice.
Yeah, it was really cool.
But overall, yeah, I think we passed Idaho, a little bit of was it Missouri as well, pretty much. But our destination was basically Tennessee and Nashville, because Armita's uncle was living there.
And we spent pretty much only 1 day there,
Yeah.
and but it was great to see my uncle. I love him, so it was good to see him.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah.
After Nashville was Dallas.
No, was it?
A day and a half?
Yeah,
or?
a day and a half. Yeah, at night basically.
Yeah.
But the highlight of Dallas trip was Apple Store.
Drone!
We got our first drone ever. It's a pretty good one. Maybe we'll talk about it later on, but it's a Mavic Air Mini.
Yes, it's a Mavic Mini. Is the one that we can also fly it in Canada, because there's a restriction for that. But yeah, it's so cool.
It's a pretty good little drone. I think it's great for the first drone if you're looking for
This is the
one.
only toy that we have, and we fight over it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm sure you get to see some shots that we used throughout our trip, and it's pretty good, especially for the first drone. Yeah. We got that one. Dallas, as Armita said, it was just rainy, like pouring down, so we didn't get the chance to explore. So we decided to drive further, and we hit New Mexico. New Mexico was officially the time that we felt that we escaped the winter. The only reason that I could convince Armita to do the whole van life thing was that you can skip the winter, and she got convinced. So that was the time we felt it. It was sunny, dry heat, and it was gorgeous.
Yeah. And I think that's where we actually start exploring. So the very first national park we went to, it was the White Sand.
Yeah.
And we actually have some B-roll shot from there. So
Yeah.
let's roll that. White Sand was actually like magical. It was so beautiful, and we really wanted to spend more time there, but we had a deadline. We had to get to Vancouver by March 14. I had to start my job, so we kind of thought maybe if we see a place for a day, that's good enough, and we start driving. And I have to say, most of our driving happened at night.
Yeah.
Because it
Highways
was
were
really
pretty
nothing
good.
to do, and it was slow, so we started driving a little bit, and then whenever we were tired, we would just pull somewhere and then sleep.
And we have to mention, this is all before the whole COVID thing actually hit almost everywhere. And we were open, and it was not still in North America at that time. And I think it was mostly China was involved with it. And
I think like this is the situation.
What is the situation?
This is COVID, and this is us. As we are going, COVID is coming. And as soon as we hit Vancouver, it comes.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see it?
Since we are talking about past and history, let's not focus on COVID right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I know everybody looking for escape, so
let's just pretend that
right
we're not in the crisis right now.
Yes.
So yeah, White Sand, and right after New Mexico, we went to Arizona.
The rest of our trip, we have some vlogs that we took, and but we're gonna have another video and explain to you guys the rest of our trip and where we parked and all that stuff. So there are a lot of contents coming through now that we are in a crisis and have nothing to
now
do
that we are
except editing and making things.
Exactly. We owe you a van tour, a bunch of other videos. We think about making another video about the cost and a lot of other ones. But we just literally started going back to our content and started videoing, like editing and all that. So
this is it for now.
Yeah, stay tuned, and thank you so much for all of you who are following us. And
yes, that's such a big motivation for us, so thank you for following our journey, and thanks for subscribing. And if you haven't done, please,
we are almost there. We are pretty close to hit 900. Maybe we did, and we're pretty close to get the first 1,000, and we are excited. Although this is small, but it's pretty cool for us, so
yes,
let's keep it going. And this one is
and we'll see you
next time.
soon. Bye. Lily, say bye. Bye bye.